In this video, we are going to take a closer look at the Deathwatch Killteams and how to best model them. This is the first video of a 4-part series, with each part covering one of the different kill teams available to the Deathwatch. We are starting with the new Primaris ones that got added in 9th edition, before finally reviewing the Proteus kill team and how our beloved firstborns handle themselves in this new edition. Welcome to SwissHammer, your channel for modeling in Warhammer 40k. Here you will find tools and guides as versatile as a Swiss army knife to help you build your army. My name is Tammer and I will be guiding you through this video. In case you end up liking this content, please feel free to subscribe. With that out of the way, let's get started. The unique features that all of these kill teams have in common is that they are troops' choice and they let you pick a combination of units that would otherwise not be possible. This actually puts the Deathwatch into the convenient position that their troop choices, and with that gaining the OBSEC ability, are absolutely fantastic, and you will hardly ever struggle with any limits on the other slots. With that being said, let's take a closer look at the Spectrus Killteam. The Spectrus Killteam got freshly added with 9th edition. The mandatory starting point is basically a squad of infiltrators, consisting out of 1 infiltrator sergeant and 4 infiltrators, though they have of course access to all the infiltrator goodies, meaning that one of them can be upgraded to either Helix Adept or the Comms Array. For as long as all models have access to concealed positions, the Spectrus Killteam maintains that deployment ability. For as long as there is a single infiltrator in the kill team or a combat squad, they maintain access to Omni Scramblers, aka Deep Strike Denial, and the Smokescreen keyword. This is something to keep in mind for later on. You can then add any combination of 5 more Phobos models, including more infiltrators, or incursors, Reavers and Eliminators. Personally, I think that there are 3 basic approaches to consider when building such a kill team. The first, and perhaps most obvious, is adding 5 of a different unit type and then using combat squads. This lets you pull fancy tricks like having a potentially bigger unit size and also gaining OBSEC on units that would otherwise not have it. What you can do, for instance, is adding 5 Eliminators or 5 Reavers, then use combat squads. However, in case of the Spectrus Killteam, I think this approach is not really playing to the full strength of this particular kill team. So, a second approach would be to leave the kill team at the max 10 models and use comparably cheap and or durable bodies to shield other, more valuable units. Let's say if you were to make a Spectrus kill team of 5 Eliminators and 5 Infiltrators, the Eliminators would then effectively be protected by the 5 Infiltrators, and anyone targeting that kill team would have to get through plenty of wounds first before they could touch the Eliminators. The third and perhaps most interesting approach would be to use a mix of units and distribute them among 2 combat squads in a way that makes the most use of the different models' unique abilities. Unfortunately, these options have been limited a bit when compared to what the 8th edition kill team could do, but in case of the Spectrus Killteam, there are still some interesting combos. Let's say you take the mandatory 5 Infiltrators, one of them being a Helix Adept. You then add 4 Eliminators and an Incursor with Haywire Mine. You combat squad 4 Eliminators plus the Helix Adept, then use the remaining Infiltrators together with the single Incursor. Combat Squad 1, 4 Infiltrators and 1 Incursor, now effectively gains all the good stuff the Infiltrators have anyway, but then on top they gain access to multi-spectrum array as well as the Haywire Mine. Combat Squad 2, however, is where it gets truly interesting. The 4 Eliminators are now making use of the single Infiltrator's Helix Gauntlet as well as the Deep Strike Denial Bubble and getting access to Smokescreen. A similar approach could be used with a comms array on the Infiltrator in case you were including a Phobos captain in your list. But if that wasn't already enough, you can actually mix any weapon loadout on the Eliminators, meaning you can put in both sniper rifles and las fusil. Ultimately, the idea of this approach is to maximize what a single unit can bring to the combat squad without impairing the abilities of the rest. Unfortunately, there's also some bad news. While in general, the Infiltrators, Incursors and Eliminators go together well because they share similar deployment options through concealed positions. This, however, sort of breaks it for the Reavers. If you wanted to include one, you could not forward deploy that squad as they don't have the concealed positions ability. If you don't mind that, it is worth mentioning that a single Reaver would be enough for the squad to get the Terror Troops ability, as well as access to shock grenades though, which might give some interesting options nonetheless. Perhaps if you are playing a mobile army with a lot of Outriders, you don't mind that the combat squad has to be put on the board normally. So, hopefully, this has given you guys some ideas on how to build your own Spectrus Killteams. To quickly summarize, the Spectrus Killteam, as any other kill team, counts as a troop choice, meaning everyone has the objective secured ability. Furthermore, what is completely unique about it is that you can pick up to 5 Eliminators with a mixed weapon loadout. Additionally, there are several abilities that only require a single model to be present. You also gain access to specialist picks like Helix Gauntlet, Comms Array or Haywire Mine. Last but not least, a single Reaver is enough to gain access to Terror Troops and shock grenades. But GW has been kicking them in the private parts once more, and you cannot make use of concealed positions if you include one. What a shame. And I conclude with some modeling recommendations for a Spectrus Killteam. Magnetize the Eliminators. You can mix the loadout, and depending on the rest of your army, either weapon choice is viable. I have done a video on how to magnetize the Eliminators. The link is in the description below. I would also recommend to magnetize a Haywire Mine on your Incursor or build the mine that can be put on a separate small base. When building Infiltrators, I think both the Helix Gauntlet as well as the Comm Array are worth having. Even though they are still not ideal, a single Reaver might be useful to include if you're playing a very mobile army and want easy access to shock grenades and the terror troops ability. So, that's it for the Spectrus Killteam. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have been enjoying this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks again, and see you next time.